Yeah. There you go. All right.
Yeah, got it.
Hello.
দিনা শুনতে পাচ্ছো? তোমার শুরু করি আমরা।
নিশ্চয়ই।
তোমার নাম দিয়ে, বড় সুন্দর নাম, দিনার সুলতানা. So you are known as Dinar, but you're also called Putul. So I will split possibly between the names because you are popularly known in different countries by the different names. So I shall call you Dinar times and maybe Putul at the others. So আমরা যদি শুরু করি, if we begin at the beginning, I of course work with a lot of Bangladesh, not a lot, but a few very important Bangladeshi artists and photographers, and I visit Dhaka Art Summit and the Chobi Mela every edition virtually. And I have seen that you know, Bangladesh today is producing some of the most extraordinary art practitioners. এবং তোমাকেও আমি সেই পর্যায়ে ফেলবো যেখানে তুমি এত সুন্দর কাজ করছো. Tell me a little bit about the beginning. Tell me about how you began. And of course, my warmest congratulations because you've just married. You told me that you just got married, so you've moved to your you know, husband's home. So tell me a bit about your you know, how you began working. A little bit about that.
Thank you, Inadi. It's a great pleasure, and I'm very fortunate to talking to you. I have seen a lot of interviews and many books of yours, and I never thought that this opportunity will come very soon. So thank you, and thank you for your well wishes. And the beginning, I want to start from, I want to say from my student time. So when I was in Shantiniketan, I have done my study from India. I have done my bachelor's from Shantiniketan and master's from Baroda. So the education system in both countries is very different type of, and the environment of Shantiniketan and Baroda also very different. But I think the space of Shantiniketan, it made me think more deeper because I got so much time there, and the system of their educational process is very different, and I learned a lot of things from my teachers and the environment. The environment is like it's a place of taking birth of artist. So yeah, from that place I have started, and now I'm practicing in Bangladesh.
First, you began studying. You did schooling in Dhaka, and from there you did.
After my 12th class, I went to Shantiniketan.
And your experience there was, on the one hand, that you felt liberated because you were alone and you were, you know, starting out, and it was like an adventure. But you lost your mother, and I think that was a deep a sense of deep sorrow and loss. এই লসটা কিন্তু বারবার তোমার কথায়, তোমার কাজে আমি দেখতে পাচ্ছি. And it is reflected in what you see around you. Khowai, for instance, in Shantiniketan is an area of complete, it's barren and it's vast, and it is somewhere a landscape that is bereft of you know, humanity, and it has been an inspiration to artists, to poets. Jara Khwaite giye, you know, they have you know, created poetry or, you know, made their artworks. So do you feel that the environment in Shantiniketan perhaps helped you in your journey as an artist in any way?
Yes, definitely. When I was in first year when I lost my mother, and after that everything got changed. I became very lonely, very lonely, and the place is also very lonely type of, because we get so much time there to spend with us. We don't have any like anything to go outside, or no busy life, very peaceful life there. So that time I used to think a lot, like very deep, like who am I? And one book I got uh, from one of my friend, and the book name is Sophie's World. So that book also helped me a lot to come out and to understand the world and the life and life, death, and the recycle of our life. So, and I used to see when uh, uh, in Shantiniketan, the place is very, so many trees there, very,
Yes.
very, very alive of
Yes.
nature. So
Yes.
I used to, I had a cycle there, and I used to run here and there, and by smell of flowers, we can recognize the season. And there was like lots of layers of flowers on the ground, and by time the flowers and the colors is decaying, the layers becoming very like our skin color. So so from that time I started, I mean, what is art? It like I understanding from that time that how, and I started talking with myself and my working materials and the working
Yes.
process, how
That
things is
material.
changing.
Yes. Like here you're saying that I try to make art a little more sensitive as I transform everyday materials and those associated with rituals. The emphasis is on handwork processes. Oftentimes engaging in a play of absurdity, I have also used cotton pulp, human hair, snake skin, and a slew of other discarded ephemerals. I then begin creating my own paper from scratch, using pastes of flower-based pulp, extracting color from elements such as flower, bark, seed, leaf, sometimes even stone and clay. So did this
Right.
begin?
Yeah, those I started from Shantiniketan. There is some we have we used to had that time some classes where teach us making colors, like how Ajanta painting have done. So we used to learn those type of traditional color making process, and so how color is coming from like trees, bark, and like seeds. So it was very surprising for me. So it was not like color; it was like blood. So everything has its own color. So that time I used to like think আমি কিভাবে একটা কিছু এরকম বানাতে চাই যেটা হচ্ছে যেটা খুব অ্যালাইভ, যেটা আমাকে জোর করে করতে হয় না, আমি সেটাকে দেখতে চাই। তো এই কালার, বিভিন্ন রকমের কালার বানানোর প্রসেসটা আমাকে অনেক ইন্সপায়ার করতেছিল যে কিভাবে কালার, এক একটা জিনিসের এক এক রকমের কালার। তো আমি এরকম একটা কার্ড বানিয়েছিলাম যেটাতে প্রায় 100 রকমের বিভিন্ন রকম গাছের পাতার রং। তো সেটা শুধু রং ছিল না আমার কাছে, সেটা বিভিন্ন রকমের আহ গাছের রক্ত বলা যায়। যে ওই
একদম।
আমরা সবসময় গাছকে এক কালারে দেখি, কিন্তু যখন আমরা ওই ভেজিটেবল ডাইয়ের ফর্মে দেখি, তখন আমরা আরেকটা ধরনের ভিজুয়ালাইজেশন করতে পারি, সেই গাছগুলোর আরেকটা রূপ দেখতে পারি।
হ্যাঁ,
তো
অবশ্যই অবশ্যই।
এভাবে আমার
আর
আসলে কালার বানানোর প্রসেসটা শুরু হয়।
কিন্তু আমাকে একটা কথা বলো পুতুল, তুমি কাঁথাটা কখন মানে ওই কাজটা কবে শুরু হলো? You started working with the needle and thread. আর এখানেও I find that it's very interesting because some of the finest work with textiles আমি কিন্তু I have seen in Dhaka, whether it's Shaun's work recently also at the Dhaka Art Summit, Shaun আkonদের কাজ অসাধারণ, plus Taslima Akhtar's work. She's an activist, but her whole protest is through the stitched textile, where she is making faces of the victims of Rana Plaza. And then your work, which is outstanding. But you, when we spoke, you said that you work on your own. You don't have any person working with you. তুমি বসে কাজ করে যাচ্ছো।
জি জি আসলে ওগুলো থ্রেডের মতো দেখাইলেও আসলে কাজগুলো থ্রেড না। তো আমি আহ, আমি যে টাইপের সারফেস বানাই, তো সারফেসটা বানানোর আগে আমি কাপড় ইউজ করি। কাপড়টার উপরে তারপরে আমি পেপারটাকে বসিয়ে তারপর কাজ করি, এবং কখনো কখনো আমি থ্রেডের মতো আর নিডলের মতো করে বিভিন্ন কাঁথায় স্টিচের মতো ডিজাইন করি। বাট ওগুলো রিয়েল কাঁথায় স্টিচ না এরকম।
But it has an effect of the kantha when you're making it.
Yes.
It looks like that, though you're saying that it is not technically kantha.
Yes, yes. So a series when I come back to Bangladesh after my study from Baroda, then I come to Dhaka, and this place was for me like very very urbanized and like very suffocating for me, because Shantiniketan is a place where I was like everything was very natural, very organic. So after coming back to Bangladesh, I could not stay here for a long time. So I was there in Bangladesh, I mean, in Dhaka city for 6 months. Then I went back to my home country, north of Bangladesh, called Jaipurhat. So then I started practicing there in my place, in our home, and I thought there was also reason. There is one artist, you may know, SM Sultan. So he inspired me a lot, because after coming back from there, I didn't get any subject that on which topic should I start work. I was lost, fully lost. I was not getting any point from where I can start. Then I thought, yes, I can go back to my place, and from there I can start again. And this place I cannot breathe here. So I went back to my home, and it was like cave type of place for me, because there was no artist friend there, very few friends, my school friends and my family, and only work. So ও বাংলায় সাধনা বলে, তো ওটা একটা সাধনার মতো একটা
একটা
সিচুয়েশন আমার।
process একটা যেখানে তুমি you withdraw in a sense because you
Yes.
feel that you spend time with yourself. So did you meet any artists at this period in your life, or were you just by yourself for a period of time? যখন তুমি এটা করছো তখন তুমি কি একলা ছিলে?
That time I was alone, and I was very devoted to practicing art. That time I decided I will practice art, or maybe there was some options also. There is some job in Bangladesh. There is art practicing opportunities is very less. There is no
Yes.
grant, like no scholarships, nothing is there. So that time
Yes.
I had to take a serious decision that what should I do.
Yeah.
I tried to do other thing also, but I could not. So after 6 months, I went back and I seriously uh, devoted to my practice, and I started practicing. And after like 1 year, the the COVID has came, and it was like very horrible time. But in village, there is a difference that the cities are stopped, but village was not fully stopped, because the farmers, they used to work. Everything was like very, very naturally they used to do their daily routines. So I thought, yeah, see, I mean, it's my realization that everything progressed a lot, but in one because of one reason, COVID, everything has stopped in in uh, city. But in village, everything was like open. They used to go outside, taking fresh oxygen, making things. So it was a very normal routine there. So I thought it's a very important thing to get energy from there, and
Yes.
believing that living process. And this is like truly inspired space for me, like from farmers. In my work, you can see there is like I have to who make like hard work, like mash my papers and then uh, take it to outside for dry. Like I use clay, then for my works, the sunlight is needed, like all the
Yes,
basic elements like pani,
yes.
বাতাস, রোদ, সবকিছুই আমার কাজগুলোর জন্য
Coal,
জরুরি।
graphite, pulp, newspapers, and you're saying newspapers to demolish written language and establish visual language. I found this line very interesting. So এটা সম্বন্ধে আমাকে
Yes.
just what do you mean by this?
Okay, so when in COVID time, I got one more writer, Noah Harari, his *Sapiens* books, and I got one more inspiration, the Buckminster Fuller, one architect and inventor.
Yes.
He,
Yes.
yes, he talked a lot of underground things. So I felt so much interested on both of them. I read them. So I find there is so many politics. What is written on the paper or any newspaper or book, it's also very political. There is so
Yes.
many things that is not written, but I'm an artist and I can make a visual, and visual language is like, for me, it's like more truth. Everything is in front of your eye, you can decide things, and there is texture also, you can feel it, like it's it's like there is appearance, there is like truthfulness, it's a body. So I find this written language I can do, like there is so many suppose farmers, there is so many news, there can be so many uh, the issues can come, but it's not coming, like uh, those are like not news for others. What is like a spicy thing, they publish those things. So I find I can it's a very political space, and there is also hierarchy who can read. They are like very knowledgeable, and who
Absolutely.
cannot, and who
তারা
cannot like
মূর্খ। হ্যাঁ, they are people who are
হ্যাঁ,
illiterate.
তারা
হ্যাঁ।
মূর্খ,
So who's
কিন্তু
to
তারা
হ্যাঁ, exactly.
কিন্তু তারাই আমাদেরকে অন্ন যোগাচ্ছে, বাঁচিয়ে রাখছে, হ্যাঁ। তো then then I find it this thing very interesting. The surface is very interesting. I can demolish those words, what is written, and I can make a paper or make a visual which is very dimensional. There is many possibilities. So that's why
So when you use this, আমাকে একটা কথা বলো পুতুল, তুমি when did
yes.
you first show your work? What was the response when you first exhibited? Who was the first person who exhibited your work? কিরকম রেসপন্স হলো যখন তুমি প্রথম দেখালে?
আচ্ছা, যখন আমি when I uh, passed my master's degree from Baroda. So there is one gallery called Art. They used to take people who are refresher, just come out from study, and they make a show called Embark. And there, my 3 works they displayed. There was some of my classmates also. So whom are they find very interesting, they put them up, and then 3 of works they displayed of mine, and in the opening day, and those 3 works I have done in my final year, master degree final year, and I experimented a lot, and uh, and those 3 works were my favorite. So in the opening day, 3 of them sold out, and people were so happy and asking me lots of questions about the process. How do you make color, the the paper? So I mean, without visualization, there was also technical things. So people interested to know, what were they? I mean, one so so that was a very nice experience for me. And after this show, those money helped me a lot to practice, and believing on me that yes, if I practice and I can produce, then I can sustain, I can survive.
Yes. Yes, and you need that support from someone, because no matter
Yeah.
how convinced you are in in the truth of your practice, it's always wonderful to have another believer, someone who says,
Yes.
yes, you're on the right track. তুমি এগিয়ে যাও, কাজ করো। আর তারপরে
Yes.
তুমি যখন ঢাকাতে এলে, did you show in Dhaka? Was there any opportunity to show in Dhaka?
Yes, after COVID, uh, then also that time also I experimented a lot with so many materials and subject matter. Then the visualization changed a lot in Bangladesh, in my hometown. There was a space called then I started find problems. I think for me, art is like a mark making, recording so many issues. It's not like always problem, it's like so many issues or the mood of that time. So when
Yes.
I went back to when I was in my home, that time I saw from big from অনেক আগে থেকে আমি দেখেছিলাম যে সেখানে একটা প্রবলেম ইস্যু চলছিল আমার পাশের জেলাতে, যে কয়লা খনির জন্য ওখান থেকে অনেকগুলো সাঁওতাল ফ্যামিলিকে ওখান থেকে উঠাই দেওয়া হয়েছে, এবং ওপেন মাইন বলে এক ধরনের কয়লা তোলার প্রসেস ওখানে চলছিল, এবং ওখান থেকে কয়লা তোলার কারণে এখন বিশাল বিশাল বড় বড় পুকুর তৈরি হয়ে গেছে সেই ল্যান্ড গুলো ডেবে ডেবে যে। তো তো তখন আমি ওখানে বেড়াতে গিয়েছিলাম, তো গিয়ে দেখেছি যে অনেক সাঁওতাল ফ্যামিলি যারা বাঁশের বেতের কাজ করতো, সেই ক্রাফট গুলো ওখান থেকে ওদেরকে চলে যাওয়ার কারণে অন্য পেশাতে চলে যেতে হয়, তো ওই ক্রাফটটা ওখান থেকে একটা ধ্বংস হয়ে যাচ্ছে। তো আমি ধীরে ধীরে আমার 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 সেন্সিবিলিটির সাথে আমার আগের যে প্র্যাকটিসের যে অভিজ্ঞতা এবং ওই সময়ের যে বিভিন্ন রকমের প্রবলেম গুলো, সেগুলো তখন আমি ডিল করতে শুরু করি, যে তাহলে আমি এভাবে কাজ করি, ওভাবে কাজ করি। তো এগুলোর মধ্য দিয়ে আমার কাজগুলো অনেক চেঞ্জ হতে থাকে।
আর তারপরে তুমি ঢাকাতে এক্সিবিশন হলো তোমার কোনো? হ্যাভ ইউ শোন ইন ঢাকা?
জি, আমি ঢাকাতে ঢাকাতে বিভিন্ন রকমের there is some national exhibition, young exhibition every year, and Asian Art Biennale. Yes, I have participated every year in those exhibitions, and there is one gallery called the Bengal Art Gallery. So Brihat Art Foundation bole there is a foundation, so they arranged a show in Bengal Art Gallery, and from there also some of my works has sold, and I got so much response. So those were my very positive energy. And last year,
yes.
Last year in the Art Summit, I have participated there also, and yeah, there I got enormous response, and those are actually my like energy. I believe on me after seeing that they can relate to my work, and they believe on my work, and they can communicate. That's why they come to me and talked about my work, and what I want to say, they can understand it very nicely. Those interest me
Yes.
a lot.
And
I'm very
how did you meet Harsh Shah, who you're now working with, who is very, very enthusiastic and has great respect for your work?
Yes.
And this, and he told me about your work, and I had seen your work earlier, of course, কিন্তু তারপরে আমার শুনে খুবই ভালো লাগলো যে উনি অসম্ভব enthusiastic, খুব ভালো লেগেছে কাজ। So how did he come to your work?
আমি একটা ইমেল পেয়েছিলাম আর্ট সাবিট ওইখান থেকে, এবং হার্ষের কাছ থেকে, ইমামি আর্ট গ্যালারি, সরি ইরাম আর্ট গ্যালারি থেকে। তো ওইটা পেয়ে আমি খুব খুশি ছিলাম যে আমাকে কেউ মানে রেসপন্স করছে যে আমার কাজ ভালো লাগছে এবং তার গ্যালারিতে নিতে চাই 3 বছরের জন্য। এবং আমি খুব হ্যাপিলি হচ্ছে ইরাম আর্টের সাথে আই জয়েন।
So
and
because also back to Gujarat, you studied in Baroda and went back, and you established yourself. Now you're again back to Ahmedabad, and hopefully we will see your work in Ahmedabad very soon. And so what are your plans now? What next? Now you have, in a sense, established yourself, and I'm sure, with Iram's support, you will be showing internationally and in important major exhibitions and shows. So do you feel that in any way you would like to change your work, or because politically we are always going through such turmoil, এত রকমের ঘটনা ঘটছে আমাদের চারিদিকে সব সময়, ও দেশে ও বাংলায় এবং মানে ভারতেও সব জায়গায়, in fact there is this turmoil. Do you feel that that affects you because you cannot escape? You were a younger person and you went to Shantiniketan, sekhane it was possible for you to, in a sense, get away from the world. Or when you went back to Bangladesh, দেশের বাড়িতে গিয়ে বাবা মার কাছে, কিন্তু এখন সবকিছুর মধ্যে থেকে যুদ্ধ লড়াই করতে তো হবেই, সেটা কাজের থ্রু দিয়েও করতে হবে।
নিশ্চয়ই।
So do you feel that your work is changing in any which way? Because when I look at your work, the different bodies of work series that you're doing, every time there is an effort to experiment, to try and do something else, not be satisfied কিন্তু একটা অন্য কিছু নিয়ে চেষ্টা করো দেখা, and I find that very impressive, because you are not sitting back and saying, হ্যাঁ এটা তো আমি করে নিয়েছি, এটা সাকসেসফুল, এটা এখন আমি এরকম ভাবেই কাজ করব. You're constantly creating a new language, or trying to create a new language. Would you agree?
Yes, you are right. I told you before also that for me, art is like a mark making by time. What I'm doing, it's like record now and then what. So in that way I keep experimenting, and that's why maybe I like practicing art a lot. For art, I am alive. I'm getting so many information. I'm very sensible because of art. It makes me alive, and I want to practice, and yes, I want to make my marks by time.
And which are the other artists that you follow? কার কাজ ভালো লাগে বাংলাদেশে, ভারতবর্ষে, অন্য জায়গায় কার কাজ ভালো লাগে?
Actually, by time it's changing a lot.
Right.
But these days I love Jarina Hashmi's work. I admire her work a lot. It has a huge journey.
Yes.
So, and then I like Rakhi Pushpani's work. Then there is Anita Dubey. Then so many Indian artists like Muthu Sen. All of who are working, I love all of their works. Their work is very sensible, very humorous. Women are, I think, very serious, sensitive.
Yeah.
So all
Yes.
women who are working, I love their works a lot.
You can come and see the Kochi Biennale sometime. Ebare to age Anita Dubey was the curator. That time was also a wonderful edition. And tarpore ebare Shubigi Rao korlo. So we had two women curators, and both times they were very, very interesting editions. Asha kori kono shomoy you will also get an opportunity to come here and to exhibit. Ebare ami Shahid Alamer Singed but not burned যে এক্সিবিশনটা আমি কিউরেট করেছি, সেইটা আমরা কোচি বিয়েনালেতে কোল্যাটারাল সেখানে দেখালাম। সো আমাকে একটা কথা বলো, কি হোয়াট আর ইয়োর ইন্টারেস্ট, কি করো, আর্ট ছাড়া কি করতে ভালো লাগে? সিনেমা দেখো, গান বাজনা শোনো?
আমার সিনেমা খুব পছন্দ, আমি অনেক সিনেমা দেখি, আর বই পড়তে পছন্দ করি, আর আর্ট দেখতে খুব পছন্দ করি। আমি জানি না কেন, আমি প্রচুর কাজ দেখতে পছন্দ করি, কোথায় কি চলছে, কি ধরনের কাজ করছে সবাই। তো আর্ট আমার কাছে একটা আলাদা রকমের ভাষা, যে ভাষাটা পড়তে আমার খুব ভালো লাগে।
আর তুমি যে বললে না যে লেয়ারের কথাটা, সেই লেয়ারটা কিন্তু নট অনলি আ ফিজিক্যাল, তোমার কাজের সেই লেয়ারিংটা কিন্তু গোজ অন মেনি ডিফারেন্ট লেভেলস। ইটস জাস্ট নট দ্য ফিজিক্যাল, যেটা তুমি বলছিলে অ্যাবাউট শান্তিনিকেতন পাতার কথা, that continues to be, I think, part of the process that you work with.
Yes. Maybe after after losing my mom, I think very deeply, and there is like the experience, layer of experience. That's why maybe all those things comes, and my choices also, and seeing so many artists, loving their
Yes.
works.
Yes. Our Dhaka Art Summit, of course, has made a wonderful change in the art scene in Dhaka.
Right.
Chobi map for photographers, but certainly Dhaka art scene, একেবারে contemporary artistদের মানে একটা দেখানোর জায়গা, একটা সুযোগ, আমরাও সবাই দেখি, খুবই ভালো কাজ করছে। So I wish you all the very best. আর আশা করি শিগগিরই তোমার সঙ্গে বসে আবার ভালো করে গল্প হবে in person. And best, I'm very excited because I'm following the projects that Harsh is working now and trying to, you know, put together with you. So সেটা হলে আমার মনে হয় খুবই ভালো হবে, আরো অনেক সুযোগ পাবো আমরা তোমার কাজ দেখতে। So all the
best of luck.
all
Best
the
of
very
luck for you. And one more topic I forgot. I really wanted to thanks to Harsh. He have done a lot for me, and thank you for believing on my works. And yes, I will do my best to put everything up. And thank you,
Thank you.
Inatis. Thank you so much
ভালো
for being
থেকো।
with me.
Okay. Thank you.
আপনি অনেক ভালো থাকবেন এবং আশা করছি খুব তাড়াতাড়ি দেখা হবে, আর ঢাকা আসলে আমাদের বাসায় বেড়াতে আসবেন।
Absolutely, absolutely. Done. Okay.
Thank you.
Bye.
Thank you so much. See you, Dinar. Thank you so much,
Ina.
Ina. Thank you. Take care.
Okay,
That was
bye
quite
bye.
an conversation that ran in so many different directions.
Yes. It's going to be fun on the editing table.
Also, because you know, because we speak Bengali, there
Yes.
are that you know, we can talk about things that are otherwise difficult to express.
Precisely.
You know, so
Precisely.
I think you'll have to put subtitles somewhere.
We are. So the idea is that all the interviews that we're doing with the gallery roster, all the interviews are bilingual or trilingual. And we wish to put in subtitles because that's the only way, you know, an art conversation takes place.
Marvelous. I'm so impressed. No one does it. But we, you know, we are lucky we speak different languages, but why should it be seeming like you only speak English? Bangla, then the various, you know, people have, you know, we must bring this out. And I'm so happy that you're doing it. Marvelous.
That's the only way. Language is the only way we'll be able to break the shackles and barriers that you know, common people face towards trying to understand or look at art. So that's the
bravo.
আমি খুব খুশি। Thank you.
Thank you so much. All right. See you. Bye.
Bye.